Welcome back to Season 5 of the FVC, Round 8 at the Italian Grand Prix. I have not changed the stream title correctly, give me 1 second. There we go. Also need to get some more people still yet to filter in the lobby. A couple of cars coming out on board with the Williams. It turns out I do not have the person required to invite. First car is out on track. We have the Williams of OJ English, also out is the Alfa Romeo of Mr. M. Rose, and Simon Baker 4067 in the secondary Williams. Also coming out, Alpine of TMA 24. Both the AlphaTauris, Estrogen Impulse and Curly 7. Secondary Alfa Romeo of Blyap are also coming out of pit lane. All of them hoping to get underway very quickly. It's a nice dry session. Taking their first lap is going to be top priority for all these cars, but also getting in the way of others you don't want to do. Penalties can come up. And also you can be involved in incidents. Get blocked by cars ahead if a yellow flag comes up. All of that is not good for your qualifying laps. Short lap at the Emilia circuit, heading over to Simon Baker 467. Let's jump on board for the first flying lap of the Emilia Grand Prix sessions. Long run up to the first chicane, hard braking, left hand turn, then off to your right. You don't want to touch the inside too much, the big sausage curve can upset the car very much. Second chicane afterwards seems very similar to the one behind it, but is a lot faster on the entrance. Coming up to a hairpin next. First corner in sector 2. You want to get it right. Hard acceleration up the hill. You can lose grip if you're not careful. Sector 2 filled with high-speed corners, but you also got to be careful. They can be deceptive, and you can lose a lot of grip, especially around here. Car nearly going round. Alfa Romeo staying there in the mirrors, getting very close. Hard braking for the next chicane, entering into the middle of sector 3. Speed trap at the end of the straight. Alfa Romeo pulling alongside, going to take down the inside Mr. M. Rose. Not making it easy for Simon Baker, heads past very easily. Simon Baker 467 aborts the lap, heads into pit lane. Mr. M. Rose, first car over the line, 116.573. OJ English, a 117.454 in second place. Next up to cross the line going to be TMA 24. Debut in Season 5 for the Alpine team, set to 118.327. Estrogen Impulse into third with a 117.014, but Curly 7 up to first with a 115.959. Aston Martin off the track, getting out of the way of all the cars. Imola's a very high-speed circuit. Lots of great races happened here in the past, but it is very tough to make an overtake in some areas. While there is massive speeds, there also is massive corners. D765, purple sector 1. Runs wide through the middle of sector 2. He can take bite quite wide that corner, however, need to be careful, you can validate your track limits. That as well, very wide out of the exit of sector 2, heading into sector 3. Purple middle sector. Runs wide off the track again, falling out the chicane into sector 3. Very close to the gravel, stays out, DRS wide open, coming over the line, sets a 1:15.895. Track limits liveries were taken, but the lap stands. Also completing a lap into 6th was Apex at 1:17.269. Quite a ways to go for the Aston Martin driver. Moving over to Scarlet 42, spins it off the road. Waits until all the cars pass, staying in a safe manner. Very good show of sportsmanship from the driver. Broughton obviously very lucky to be avoiding of Scarlet's spin. Could have compromised his lap entirely. Good entry into sector 3, cuts the middle of the chicane, however the lap seems to be standing so far. Has now 2:09.06, the McLaren driver joins into the session. 14 drivers so far. Bit slower than the Mercedes through the final 2 corners. DRS lap opens, coming around the start-finish straight, heads into 4th position at 1:16.332. Blyapple also goes into 3rd at 1:16.237. Scarlet 42 into last place, unsurprisingly, 1:28.714 due to the spin. VNT Rosenquist still yet to come out of the pits. Not the greatest showing of season for them so far. They're going to have to be a lot faster than they have been. Next car in a flying lap, Eldorado 2009, pre-season race winner, still yet to convert that into a full-on win. Currently on their flying lap. Yellow, sector 2, Ferrari, JL Broughton goes round. Broughton keeping out of the way until all the cars have gone by. Very good show of sportsmanship. Eldorado 1:20.183. Still a ways to go for the Mercedes driver who wants to get up near the top with his teammate. 4.3 seconds to go. Yellow in sector 1, slow Alpine of TMA. Heading back on board for the second time, Simon Baker 4067 takes the flying lap, keeps it nice and steady throughout the first chicane. Yellow's behind for a slower Alfa Romeo by the looks of it. Simon is gaining pretty quickly on the Aston Martin in front. Going to be Scarlet, the only Aston Martin currently out on track. Scarlet could also be going for another flying lap though by the looks of the timing tower. Purple middle sector for the Williams driver. Good entrance into sector 3. Going to be picking up the fringes of that slipstream from the car in front. Ever so slight, it's not going to be much, but anything is a helpful. Scarlet boarding into pit lane. Clear track ahead for Simon Baker. First flying lap up to 10th position at 1:17.753 for the Williams. Both cars sat currently 9th and 10th in 1:17. It's very close to each other. They're going to be next to each other on the grid if they keep at this position. Please excuse us for 1 second. Things are happening in the background. Next car coming over the line, McLaren of Harrison M2906, 6th position at 1:16.664. 7 minutes remaining of qualifying. One car left to set a lap. Red Bull of VNT Rosenquist. Yellow sector 1 and 2, GL Broughton's Ferrari spun round again, gets it going. Thankfully Harrison M's already set the lap. Round the final corners. Rosenquist, 1:20.144 for the Red Bull. Most cars heading to pit lane or getting ready for their final runs. Top of the tables, 1:15.527 for D765. Four minutes remaining qualifying. OJ English coming around for another flying lap. Has aborted, actually, by the looks of it. Jumping over to the Mercedes of D765. By the looks of it coming around to complete another flying lap. Doesn't go up, not surprising considering already set a very fast lap time. Or maybe the game was telling us wrong and now he's in fact going for another lap. Hold on. D765, 1:15.337. Last lap again. Just occasionally freezing my hand. Okay, good to know. Thank you, Pixels, for making me aware of that. I am looking at my phone. I can't access any stream whatsoever, be it Xbox or Apex or the Formula Velocity stream. But we're still going at the very least. Alfa Romeo of Mr. M. Rose comes into bother, crashing out the session, trying to find a car to see what's happened. Hits into the left-hand barrier. Dropping near the end of the first sector. Final 15 seconds, then drivers must complete the lap they are on. Mr. M. Rose also for crashing out, 1:15.378. Qualifying over, 3 minutes remain for driver to finish up their laps. Should be done in about a minute's time. Not a very long lap here at Imola. Broughton and Apex heading off the track the first chicane. Getting out of the way of the Alfa Romeo of Blyapra, as well as possibly Scarlet. Jumping over 2 cars, coming over the line now. Looking on where they are, can't seem to find anyone. Arsenal aborting, heading to pit lane. Struggling to find anybody that's still running. Qualifying over, D765 sets pole position at 1:15.337 for the Mercedes team. M. Rose in second and Curley in third. Blyapra 21:43 in fourth. Jailbrought in fifth. Harrison M in sixth. Scarlett 47 in seventh. Scarlett 47, Scarlett 42, my bad. Impulse in 8th, Eldorado in 9th, and Apex in 10th. Welcome back to Season 5 of the FVC. Round 8 here at the Emilia circuit for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. D765 lines up on pole position. In second is the Alfa Romeo of Mr. Amrose. Curly 7 comes up in third position. Lyap 5149 lines up on the other side of Curly, the second Alfa Romeo, directly behind his teammate. JL Broughton in 5th position and Harrison M in 6th. Scarlet 42 in 7th position. We heard her saying that she doesn't think that they're going to get a win until round 10 this season. Long way to go until then, but only can hold out hope. Estrogen Impulse, race winner 2 weeks ago for AlphaTauri, lines up 8th position, and Eldorado 2009 is in 9th. Defending champion from Season 4, Apex, is in 10th position. The Williams duo of OJ English and Simon Baker take up 11th and 12th position. 13th goes to TMA24, debuting this season for Alpine. VNT Rosenquist backs up the field in 14th position. All drivers set a lap, some faster than others and some very close to others. The race for first place is decisively between the Mercedes and Alfa Romeo, both setting 1:15.3s. Two races held in the past for this track. It's going to be race number 3 for main series FVC. Lap record currently stands at a 1:16.669. As we've seen in qualifying, these cars are definitely faster than that, but it all depends if they get here in the race. We see the predicted stop strategies, a medium hard and a soft medium medium. We are seeing other strategies predicted though by the drivers. We could go soft hard instead. Seven drivers so far have taken a win this season. Drivers still yet to get them. Well, one of them's lining up in second. Both the Alfa Romeos, both the McLarens, and 2 out of 3 Ferraris still have to get a win this season. First and third already have them, second and fourth don't though. Lyap 5169, disqualified in qualifying, it does not matter, we're already at the end of the formation. No good camera angles, we're going to be sitting here looking at the back of the grid. Two, 3, 4, 5 red lights are on. It's lights out and away we go for round 8. The Emilia Romagna Grand Prix is underway. Can't see what the launch is like at the front of the field. D75 seems to get a poor launch. Mr. Emrose already charging up. JL Broughton up into 3rd position already for the Ferraris. Too wide in the back grid. All cars staying on track. Everyone seems to be getting through the first chicane cleanly. Some of them bouncing over the sausage curves. Alpine is round. TMA spins. First corner. Also falling down, Blyap 5169 seems to be the other car involved in that accident. Everyone else getting away cleanly. D75 is storming away from the front of the pack. Already got a nearly second long lead. Mr. Amrose though catching up through the edges of the corners and the straight lines. Simon Baker 467 retires from this session. And there's a safety car out. Virtual safety car deployed. See the stricken Williams in the background, stuck against the wall. Another blow to the Williams team, currently leading the championship. They might have the lead swap hands depending on who gets good position score today. Depending on when this VSC ends, it could be a huge advantage for the cars behind. D75 has a lot less speed in some of these cars. Back to green flag racing. Broughton seemed to get a better run than Rose off of the restart. D75 running wide, the Aston Martin of Scarlett running very wide through the chicane, somehow still going in a straight line. Broughton challenging the Alfa Romeo ahead, D75 roaring up in front again. Away with the crest at the top of the track, Scarlet 42 catching up to the battle for second. Background for 6th. Estrogen Impulse getting passed by the McLaren of Harrison M into the section. Yellow flag, sector 2. That's going to be Apex falling down the field. Harrison M goes round in the background, collects the secondary Mercedes of Eldorado. Cars going round. Also fighting Jail Broughton challenging against the Alfa Romeo of Mr. Emrose into the chicane. Emrose just stays ahead there, wheel to wheel, banging wheels even. Round the final corner, these two got to be careful, keep battling. There is the 2 cars behind of the Aston Martin and the AlphaTauri. D75 cross the line, 120.783, so it's the first fastest lap of the race. Emrose weaving, Broughton now goes to the right hand side. Gonna have the outside line into turn 1. Gonna be side by side. Broughton just has to back out, Mr. Emrose keeps the position. Yellow sector 1, VNT Rosenquist comes into bother, spinning out of the first chicane. TMA getting past, Harrison M having bothers at the second. D75 running away up the field. Big gap already coming up. TMA again spinning for the Alpine team. DRS enabled already. The Alfa Romeo is going to be sitting duck compared to these cars behind. Depends what the gap was like already. Broughton gaining very rapidly on the Alfa Romeo in front, just not enough to make a move. Better cleaner line through the first chicane. Gonna have to keep that up for the second if he wants to get anywhere closer to the Alfa Romeo. Missed the first apex. Clean onto the second. The Alfa just gets the better launch out of the corners though. 5-second penalty. Harrison M 29.06 speeding in pit lane. Horrible start for the McLaren. Not as worse as it could be, but it's still not as good either. Broughton goes round, coming through the middle sector. Very inopportune time, lots of cars going past. Got to get that going again. The tyres are going to be very, very hot. Corley running very wide off track. Spin of Broughton sends them all down to 9th position. Close battle on track though, Blyapper and the Alfa Romeo against Apex in the Aston Martin. Blah running wide into the gravel, is going to have DRS, they spin around again. Broughton, Dorado, contact in the background coming around the final corner. DRS wide open, takes to the right hand side. The Aston Martin going to have the more speed. TMA retires in the middle sector. Alfa Romeo is well ahead of Apex, jumping over to Harrison M, see if we can see what happened to the Alpine. Into the left barrier, coming up over the crest. Possibly just spun up the rear wheels, head straight first into the barrier. No virtual safety car, Harrison M drives straight into the wall, from the looks of things. Three-second penalty for Mr. M Rose, multiple warnings. We also seen Blyapper get well ahead now of the Aston Martin. Closest battle on track. OJ English chasing down the AlphaTauri of SOG and Impulse. Dorado and Broughton into pit lane. Unsure for early tyre changes or maybe some wing damage. RSM's going to be coming up right behind them, passing the two cars on the start-finish straight. Up into the points for the McLaren. Impulse just close enough to his teammate in the other AlphaTauri to get the DRS. Going to defend himself into turn 1. English does have the slipstream, but it's not going to be enough for a dive. Curley needs to pick up the pace though if he wants to help his teammate. Both the Mercedes are close on track together, but they are a lap apart from each other. It's a dream start for one and a dreadful for the other. Two AlphaTauris and Williams nicely through the chicane entering sector 3. Curley's going to be right disadvantaged down the main straight though. Two cars, both of which are going to have DRS on him, and he is not going to have DRS on the car in front. Too far of a gap. Heading on board to OJ English. Impulse taking the left hand side, DRS wide open against his teammate. English might just not be close enough to make a dive into the first turn. Isn't. That's to stay behind Impulse. That's going to release him out into the wild. He can now drive away as fast as he can. Nearly spins it though onto the grass. English drives to the back of Curly 7. Was a mistake for one driver, but a mistake for English as well. Just about saves Impulse from getting past again. Sector 2 yellow, GL Broughton and Ferrari round again. Down into last position. Thankfully gets it going in between the two groups of battles. All cars separating out a little bit in this group. Curly running very wide out of the chicane. One to watch here though. Scarlet, DRS open, the Aston Martin's going to be chasing down second place Alfa Romeo. Not much gains happening first off. That Alfa Romeo very quick in a straight line. The time is now tumbling down. Not going to be close enough into the first turn. Apex into pit lane, lap 9 of 32. Keep an eye on that battle. Scarlet just trying again to catch up to the back of the Alfa Romeo. Not enough straight line speed to catch up to it. The Alfa Romeo also pulling away throughout the turns. We see the lap down Ferrari of Broughton was running high up in the field, now running quite low. OJ English starting to pressure Curly, trying to force the AlphaTauri into a mistake. It might just happen coming to the chicane. We've seen Curly run wide a number of times. You can only do that so many times before you start getting warnings for it. Heading to second now, Scarlet got the better launch out of the corner. Heads to the right hand side of the Alfa Romeo. 2 by 2, going to be too wide. Very little track for the Aston Martin, has to take to the grass. Gets in front by turn 1, has to cut the corner though. Runs over the touch curb, they come to contact. Mr. M. Rose goes around. Scarlet up into second row, spins. Down the order he falls, down all the way 6th. 7th now. Was all going so well for the Alfa Romeo, it's gone horribly, horribly wrong. Tumbling out of the order, only 1/3 of the race gone though, anything could still happen, safety cars, crashes, absolutely anything. Heading over, OJ English and the Williams, much better launch than the AlphaTauri had. Also going to have the DRS wide open. Down to turn 1, the gap's big. Not going to be closing enough by the looks of it. Keeps it nice and steady through the middle sector. OJ will want to get this moved on quickly. The Alfa Romeo of Blah is very close behind. Mr. M. Rosen to pit lane. Might have some wing damage, might be going for new tyres. Curly 7 running wide again. I just wonder how many more warnings that driver has before he starts getting penalties for it. Alfa Romeo in the background, nearly hitting the barrier. Yellow sector 1, VNT Rosenquist Red Bull, spinning out the first chicane. So bigger gap than it was this last lap. English will not be able to make the move from this far back, and if he does, he's a madman, he will cause a crash. Trying to pressure the AlphaTauri in front into a mistake might just pressure himself into one. The Alfa Romeo behind is catching. Number of cars taking to pit lane, getting ready for their first stops. Mr. M. Rose seems to have went into pit lane again, also in is VNT Rosenquist, now dropping down to the last position. Broughton and Dorado heading up into the points paying positions. No DRS this time round for English. Just too far back off the rear end of the AlphaTauri. Possibly exhausted those tyres already, trying to push just too hard. Dorado and Broughton getting very close to each other. Notice on the timing tower they were 200ths apart. Mr. M. Rose, 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. Not surprising considering how far we've seen some of the cars go off track today. Broughton with the DRS wide open, absolutely flying past the Mercedes. No challenge whatsoever for these two cars. One's much faster in a straight line. Broughton up into 9th position. Second through 5th into pit lane. All at the same time. They're going to be right on top of each other coming out. Here comes Impulse down pit lane as well. They're all going to be right on top of each other heading into turn 1. AlphaTauris are side by side. Impulse gets up into 3rd position. Curly in 4th. Very bad line throughout the first few corners though. Got to heat those tyres back up, get them up into operating temperatures. Leader into pit lane, D765. 37.5 second interval to Scarlett. 1:18.682, fastest lap for Mr. M. Rose. The medium compound tyres are getting closer and closer to that lap record. Halfway through the race. It's looking like we might have our first repeat winner of the season. By the time D765 is out of the pit, Scarlett is only just go over the line. With a pit stop in hand, looking likely he's going for the victory. On board for Blyapper, going to look to the left, doesn't make any move, just a bit too far back off the rear wing of the Williams. Again, 1:18.508 for Mr. M. Rose. English is back close enough to Curly in order to get the DRS though. Worn out the tyres the first time we tried this. M into pit lane. Also near the back of the field for 8th place, Broughton and Rose fighting. Rose does have that 6-second worth of penalties though. Three cars very close to each other. Blyap, having looked to the left-hand side of the Williams, doesn't have anything left to give it into the chicanes. The longer these three battle, the further ahead Impulse can get, and he's going to be hoping they battle for as long as possible. Blyap gets the better run, heading into the left-hand side for the chicane, entering Sector 3. Going to be well ahead, doesn't have the inside line, gets the move done though, doesn't need it. OJ English running very wide off the track, try and get as much exit speed as he can. BT Rosenquist spins first chicane. English is going to be trying as hard as to get back at the Alfa Romeo. As a look to the inside for the hairpin. Too wide, gets the move done. Last needs to get the better exit speed though. We're going to have the inside corner for this next turn. Going to be right on the outside for the fast left-hander. Doesn't have the same exit grip as he did last time. D765, 118.461 hard tire. Harrison M, 118.394. I realised I said a mistake for a D75 fastest lap. 118 hard tire for the McLaren. Late attempt on the soft tyre might just get the fastest lap on a new lap record for anybody. OJ English gaining all the time on that AlphaTauri in front. Doesn't have enough though, down the straight. Has a look into the second chicane, doesn't have anything left to give. Harrison M, 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. OJ gets a much better exit out of the double right-hander, just runs into the back though of the AlphaTauri, can't get enough speed into the chicane, spins around the AlphaTauri. Good show of sportsmanship, slowing down, waiting for the car to catch back up before going again. Lets the AlphaTauri back into 5th position. That lets Blyappo drive right up the road into 4th. 4-second gap already pulled out by that car. But the battle continues now for P5. Harrison M spun round, second chicane, right hand side might even be stuck by the looks of it. Dot's not moving. Nope, gets it going, very slow, not a great place to be. Battle for P5 continues. English having a look to the left-hand side, into the chicane. Sector 3, they're going to be 2 by 2. Somehow getting it done, too wide through the chicane. Somehow doesn't make contact with each other. Curly gets the better run out of the chicane. Had the better run through Sector 3. Very little between these two cars, so English going to have DRS down the main straight. Curly's going to have to rely on all his battery and just pure speed to stay ahead. 0.2 of a second, stabilising around that. English going to have a look at a dive possibly. Stays behind into turn 1. Out of 2 and 3, they're still equal with each other. Second chicane, Curly gets the better entrance. English getting a much better exit. You might have a look down the inside for the hairpin. English on the inside, Curly to the outside, 2 by 2 again. Still side by side, Curly getting the better launch out of the hairpin. AlphaTauri's going to be ahead, heading into the left-handers. Better exit for English, gaining but not enough, doesn't have a look down the inside. Bit of sliding from the Williams driver, Curly getting the better launch out of the chicane. 5-second penalty, VNT Rosenquist ignoring blue flags. Which I'm not quite sure why they got it, considering there is no lap up car there. Aston Martin is round, that's going to be Scarlett at the second chicane. Also off the track, first chicane is going to be VNT Rosenquist. Moving back, battle for 5th. English runs a little bit into the gravel, coming out of Sector 1. R&M disconnects from the session. Curly and English wing to wing again at the chicane into Sector 3 for another lap. English can have a look to the left hand side, slightly on the grass. Gets past Curly heading into the final 2 corners though. Rolls are going to be the other way around though. Curly will have the DRS. Broughton very slow coming out of the final corner. Curly is quite far back, but has a lot higher top speed than that Williams does. 3 tenths, 2 tenths, 1 tenth now. Just has to back out before the first chicane. English getting a much better run. 6 tenths up the road. Gap's falling though. AlphaTauri just doesn't have the same cornering to be able to keep up with that Williams. Running wide out of the chicane, another lap. Get the feeling that the Williams is just going to be running away up the field now, or running away up the track. Curly tries, he might catch up, doesn't have the same cornering. That gap is falling rapidly. Curly might just have a look, doesn't, backed out of it last second. Not sure what happened to English. That was a scary, scary rate they were closing in on each other. D765, 3-second penalty, multiple warnings. You know, I presume it's for track limits. Lots of drivers suffering from the track limits today, but a lot of drivers seeming to get away with them. Bad exit out of the second sector for Curly. Running extensively wide again. Curly 7, 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Been a long time coming. That only harms his battle for 5th even further. Broughton, 3-second penalty, multiple warnings. Curly gets the chicane all wrong, nearly slides into the wall. That will put him outside of the DRS range to the car in front. And with that, every single car is now at least 1 second apart from each other. Straight line speed of the AlphaTauri helps him gain up into within a second of the car in front. Has to concede the position though to the Ferrari, which is much quicker going by, trying to get his lap back. Closest two cars now on track, going to be the AlphaTauri of Impulse and the Aston Martin of Scarlet. We're going to see the time delta between English and Curly bounce around a bit, but by the looks of it, English is going to drive off into the distance. Full safety car is deployed. Lap 28 of 32. I am not sure why the safety car is out. English heads into pit lane, Curly staying out. Whatever reason this safety car out, it is disadvantaging D765 hugely. A dominating lead all race. He has to contend with a penalty as well. 30 seconds will come down to possibly 0. VNT Rosenquist, 5-second penalty, speeding in pit lane. D765 elects to head into the pits, going onto the new soft compound tyres, I would presume. And indeed it will be new soft compounds for the Mercedes. This is exactly the type of conditions that you see the new lap records being set. Scarlett also into pit lane. Lap 30 of 32. Impulse elects to stay out, as does Blyappa. Broughton and Curley speeding in pit lane. 5-second penalty to the both of them. The race has well and truly opened up now. D765 leads on the soft compound tyre. Impulse and Blah second and third, but they are on the hard compound tyres, electing to stay out instead. Scarlett also went into pit lane, soft compounds. For her, she has a very real shot of winning this race and also being the first race winner for Aston Martin this season. Safety car in this lap. Scarlett still has a bit to catch up to the back of the pack. Also has to deal with a lot of lap down traffic. Scarlett, last car to catch up. Safety car in pit lane, jumping up to the front. D725 gets a great launch. Impulse gaining all the way though, much faster in a straight line. Red Bull of Rosewhist round into the wall. Also retiring is Eldorado. Mercedes not making it off the restart. Somehow the Red Bull stays in the race. Scarlett already past Blah. She's going to be looking for the fastest way around that AlphaTauri. Gets it done into the hairpin ahead. Just has to keep it within, I think it's 5 seconds. Rosenqvist retiring now, off into turn 1. Three-second gap between the Mercedes and the Aston Martin. The lap down car of Rose isn't going to make this easy for her. D765, 117.380, soft compound tyre, heading on to the final lap of the race. No DRS, Scarlett just has to contend, staying behind, losing the downforce behind the Alfa Romeo. Broughton, 116.850 for the Ferrari. Mr. M. Rose, 5-second penalty, ignoring blue flags. The ignorance and impeding for the Aston Martin behind could just lose her this race. Depends how big that penalty that D765 is. Over 5 seconds now between the Mercedes and the Aston Martin. No hope now unless D765 makes a mistake. Apex retiring from the session off at the hairpin. Start of Sector 2. Another 5-second penalty, ignoring blue flags for Mr. M. Rose. Scarlett, 2.2 seconds outside of the win. D765 will become the first repeat winner after 8 rounds in the FVC Season 5. Scarlet comes home in 2nd, Impulse 3rd, English 4th and Blyup in 5th. OJ English is considered the driver of the day by the game. Results will be put into the app and voting will be open soon. After 8 rounds, the streak of new winners is broken. D765 for Mercedes becomes the first Season 5 repeat winner. Scarlet 42 comes home 2nd, a lost chance at a win the Emilia Grand Prix due to the impeding Alfa Romeo in front. And in 3rd comes home OJ English. Or no, not OJ English. In 3rd comes home SRGM Impulse. The streak of new winners comes to a close in Season 5 as D765 takes victory at the Imola circuit. Scarlet 42 in 2nd and Estrogen in 3rd. In 4th is OJ English, 5th is Blyapper 55169, 6th goes to Curly 7 and Apex is in 7th, although DNS from the race. Mr. M Rose 8th place, controversial ending to the Grand Prix, brought it in 9th and Harrison M in 10th. Eldorado 2009 and VNT Roasticus in 12th. Finish out the final classified cars. TMA 24 in 13th, Simon Baker at 4067 comes out in 14th.